Okay. Let's get this sucker going first. There, okay, here we go. I've been checking the audio, make sure. I mean, I'm not like talking. Nothing's been recorded. Yeah, YouTube's been acting kind of strange too. So I uploaded a beach video and it's like processing forever. Okay, maybe not forever, but longer than usual. So, so here we are. I'll post tomorrow. I was complaining about NPCs or something like that. I don't remember anymore. So yeah, this is on. This wasn't planned. Yeah, we had the internet breakdown. Yeah, so when I talk about that tomorrow, I meant today, but whatever. I ain't going too much into it. But yeah, it's obviously a energy reset, and yeah, that felt. Without going into details, I mean it. I think what China was crying about being hacked. So, we'll never really know the whole story. But either way, yeah, oh yeah, that's right. I guess I'll repeat some of what I said today. Um, it feels like there's going to be some energy turbulence, yeah, throughout the week. Of course, I guess you can say it's any week, but it feels like it's more than usual. But we'll see what occurs with that. Yeah, a lot of uncertainty. Of course, this wasn't planned, so there's some uncertainty there. Who knows? I might do another one tomorrow. Who knows? I don't think so, but we'll see. Yeah, of course, the China situation, South America, Venezuela, is quieted down, at least news-wise. So, of course, there's a cyber warfare thing going on with China. Yeah, China's a bizarre. This whole thing is just none of it's like being clear, like where we're heading into. Yeah, the U.S. will survive somehow. It's not great, but of course, it's a lot of purging with the jobs, of course, to some level, not completely. Yeah, it's out with the old and with the new. Who knows what the new is, though? I mean, you say some of it's AI, but there's other. We're just going to like a new consciousness, but also the old, we'll just say the NPC people that need all the drama and all that. I mean, you can't imagine that being, where does that go? Seeing that that's the majority. So that's, I'll go through some changes, let's put it that way. But they're still going to be staying in their own little, cubicle of crazy or whatever it is. And that's obviously, that's where they are at soul-wise and everything, too. The child race must continue. So, yeah, it's like trying to get trying to force a kid to grow faster. I mean, in some cases that is true when we have world events and things like that. It does get some people to, advance a little bit quicker. 2020 was involved with that and so on. So, of course, there's a lot of victims here too. So, and there's a lot of people are not really interested in growing soul-wise because they don't even know what that is. Even when you do know what it is, it's still difficult. So, it's just it's not as easy as it sounds. And clearing out the shadow is, like I said, not as easy as it sounds. So, oh yeah, I put in the title, the Illuminati made me do it only because my video's not processing. And hopefully by the morning it'll be done processing. Sometimes you can submit it to YouTube and they can fix it. If it's, I'll just give it kind of the day and see how it goes. So, we'll see. But yeah, YouTube's been kind of, we had the internet went down, so even Google, I mean, I imagine their traffic increased or something. They still got some turbulence there. I would assume so. So, yeah. Yeah, the AI apocalypse. Yeah, good luck with that. What happens when it runs out of batteries? Terminator is blasting everybody, and then it runs out of batteries. Got to plug it into the wall and have it recharge. So, yeah, it's not 100%. Of course, they keep saying the same story about like the internet went down and look how fragile we are. Didn't they? It's like they always say that. Not that I pay attention. But it's kind of the same thing over and over again. So whatever. So connecting to the energies, yeah, I just feel like a chaotic week energetically. Of course, I said that at the beach too. I'm not sure if it's for myself because of work situation, which is kind of shitty. I'm cutting cords there, and it's been kind of turbulent. Yeah, that's contributed by Friday when I was. Of course, it might have been connected also to the protest thing, but it might have been more work related because it's such a thick manipulation there that I'm breaking out of. Yeah, I feel a lot more free actually. I didn't feel that Friday night. So it's like you're taking a yarn and you're ripping it open. You're untangling it like a ball of yarn and you're clearing it out. And also the cats too, I've been working on their health. I've been working on their health for a while, trying to improve it. So I made kind of some changes recently in their food, which I think will help out a lot. So I've been working towards that. I think I found a better solution. So, especially for Fritzy, because she carries in, picks up a lot of energy and everything. So help with her, weight management and everything. So. Yeah, I can't let them go outside. They might think they know what they're doing, but they don't know shit. They can go out and play with the birds or something, but they don't know anything. It's like, you gotta kind of be a Afghan cat. You gotta be a wild. You gotta know what the fuck you're doing. And these two don't know shit. So, yeah, they won't last 5 minutes out in the wild by themselves. So. Just the way it is. I mean, maybe, during the day, maybe here and there, but no. So, but yeah, that's really the adventure out there of being an animal, right? Being out in the wild, just like a wild cat or even a squirrel or a bird. I mean, that's where the adventure is, right? They're always swooping around, and birds are flying around doing, living free, and then, cats are roaming through everyone's yards and everything, going through all their stuff, and the dogs do the same thing, so. Maybe there's more cats, alley cats, and dogs that are free, I imagine. You don't see many dogs, because you don't see many cats either, but I imagine cats are more likely to be roaming around than a dog, so yeah, I don't see many. Usually dogs have an owner normally or something like that, but cats are normally too. Strays are normally, they're more common, you could say. Yeah, that's for the living off of nature, right? The wild, for sure. So, more adventurous in our lives. Of course, we only do so much because the society structure, also society itself, is so built into survival mode. So, we can only do so much there, and of course, the programming, they can only handle so much, But yeah, this is for some of us, just further breaking out of the system, little by little, and I've been picking up more frequency-wise of how many that are under. Well, a lot of people just like being under control. It all depends. Everyone's different, but you pick your program. That's part of also lessons once again, but you pick your Archon program too. How do you process reality, right? Religious programs, or a sexuality program, and it's still a program. But you're outside in the wild and you're disconnected from the matrix and you're fucked. You're screwed basically. Because you're not part of any of those programs. Not really. Access some of it here and there because of survival purposes, but other than that, you're just out in the wild, basically. Yeah, it's like being part of a zombie apocalypse. Technically, you can't really say what's on your mind. You can't do anything, so. Yeah, it's like, are they half alive? That's pretty much what I was talking about today too. It's like a half alive society. Yeah, it's funny. I titled the Archon the one at the beach, but I don't mention the word Archon. But pretty much that's what it is. So, well, it's part of being human here. Without repeating anything I said today, because I remember some of it. Well, I'll bring up this part. Yeah, the percentage of the soul, how much the percentage of the soul is in the body, like 2%, no percent. Maybe for some of us, it's like 100. Yeah, it's 100 -%. We're so contributing, but it's like, well, also looking for a way out of here too. Yeah, good luck with that. Obviously, it helped steer the ship of this reality for others to find what they're doing, at some point. But yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, you can say some of this is like being kind of like a captain of the ship to some regard to the lost society, I guess. So you're bringing your template, how you do things and everything, and if anybody notices, another story. Yeah, maybe some do. I think we don't know what the fuck they're doing still. Yeah, we basically what do you call it? Just share our energy here like anybody, but in this awakening time, you see if anyone is interested, or most aren't. The program was more enticing, you can say. But like outside the matrix energy, basically, disclosure would definitely increase by 100%, or it would increase a lot, because you're not letting all these fears and all these programmings and everything to lock you down like the majority does. So the majority is not interested in any, I don't know, just they want to win the lottery or something, right? And they're complaining about all the stuff they don't have, which is, sometimes that's justified. Of course, the whole survival thing. Well, if they want to be here in the physical realm, they have to go by its rules. If you want to be a physical being and be part of the system, because something about the physicality here, some soul beings like being in this vehicle, in the avatar. And so I guess they want a certain type of experience, so we have to go through a certain type of manipulation at the same time. For those that want a certain type of whatever that means. So it's a little weird saying that, but the 9-to-5 job or whatever it is, like, it's like the Archon beings, even reptilian, whoever that's here, as to cause difficulties here. Well, of course, also the soul is not really wanting. Well, it's progressing, maybe. Depends. If how much it wants to, it's like many just dormant themselves. Like, they don't want to grow. They want things to be a certain way and never change. They don't want any change at all. I imagine run into that here and there. Not that people are advertising it, but change is very seldom here, really, when you think about it. So society here is not that interested in it for the most part. But once it gets to where they want it, they want it to continue that way, and it's just not the way it goes. So it's growth little by little. Those that are in kind of like a fear state, I don't know, it's very strange there. It's like they put themselves in a prison due to traumas. But it's like they put themselves into like a windowless house. And it's like boarded up energetically. Their energy is boarded up, and they see the world go by, and they're nice, they're friendly, and they're just doing all the what's expected of them socially. But behind closed doors is just an empty vessel energy for some. And yeah, it's almost like I got the image of like bowling, the pins, not the bowling ball, but the pins, which makes sense. The soul chose like to be a pin in the bowling lane, which makes sense, and then they get knocked over and all that because they're not really contributing. They're not really doing anything. They could, they choose not to. So in that case, they get taken over or whatever it is, and they have to go through that process. It's like you don't have to be that, but you choose that, so you get manipulated and taken for a ride and so on. So that's why in some cases, the victim energy there, which makes sense. So yeah, many times when you get hit over the head until you start wanting to break free, which majority don't really. I'm not sure how many know how to, or when they're given a chance to break free. It's like the Rubik's Cube. They get caught into the Rubik's Cube where it's out of order. So the soul gets into like that energy. So that we're going to places that. But it makes sense though. Like the Rubik's Cube, when it's all figured out, it all has its colors, it's all clear. But a lot of the beings incarnated here, which makes a lot of sense. They're in the Rubik's Cube, but it's organized. So that's why we have chaos here. It's part of it. So, and well, it also it's for if they want to get out, let them be free. You want to stay in the maze and stay there forever, or do you want to free yourself? It's up to them. Yeah, so it's like a virtual reality that they put on themselves, and it's like, okay, this is your choices. This is what you have to live. There's always a way out, but do you want to get out? So it has to do with their life choices. But of course, once they make a life choice, they have to be in there for a while. But there is sometimes an escape room, you can say, or an exit door to do something differently. Some of you are so damn scared. Damn. Yeah, I thought I'd tap into it all the time because it's exhausting. So what's the point of that? But society is built on fear, basically. It's not to be proud of. It's part of the culture. And the whole idea is to become a fearless, reality. Good luck on getting society to do that. I mean, they might be fearless, but they're not always. Some are fearless, but not in the best intentions. So, anyway. But yeah, the higher dimensions is about fearlessness, but also obviously loving energy and it brings in manifestation, but manifestation that is necessary, not just wants and you want $1 million or something or whatever. It's more energetic manifestation for your soul to continue to walk up the stairs of your existence, right? And because also your intuition improves and you can see reality more clearly. Not always pretty to see it. That's the other thing, because it's kind of sad. It's very sad. Yeah, that's when you start. At least that's why I see it. I see it more as like a child race. Really, you can really see it. It's like I didn't really think about it before because I was too busy going through other stuff. But I just think, damn, this feels like Well, I guess I just never had a reason to see it that way. I'm seeing more and more how it is a kid's race, because I'm seeing it from the alien point of view too. Like, I have intelligent beings here, but they're still acting like kids, so adult kids. I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the inner child, but some are they're just playing around, basically. So, but we are, bringing, the whole point of this is to show show us how it's done, right? As we evolve into something more than materialism and propaganda. Yeah. Whatever. yeah, basically more freedom of the soul, basically. And like I say, manifesting, but like I say, it's not always manifesting what you, I don't know, what's, yeah, what you need, yeah. What you need and what helps you in the next building block. Because the way we see things in our minds is one thing, but, on a higher level, it's not always how we see it. Because we're still going through the program to some level. Of course, we're in part of a survival society still, and it's just the way it is. So, of course, you're going to have the fears of that and all that, which makes sense. Some take it to a whole new level, though. So, yeah. So, I guess I can channel somebody. They channeled the Syrians and got pushback from somebody. Kicked to the Weirens, feline beings, and it's a candle. Connect to the felines to do a energy exchange there. Let's see what. Just give it a couple minutes of that. So, all right, blessings. Greetings with the Lyrans. Yes, much of society is learning patience, but also self-identity. Some of the times you go through the human perspective of what's identity. Basically, identity obviously is who you are. And you not always need to tell yourself who you are. Basically, you are you in your actions. So you are your actions. You are. So sometimes there's no way to define it through words. Just be. To be the best you can be, whatever that means. And yes, just basically a lot more, and that's where self-love comes in, and your boundaries, and because some just do not have any boundaries, and they're one of the major lessons of that. Yeah, it's like having the barnyard gates open and letting all kinds of things into their energy field. Yeah, and then when they close it up, it's too late. They have insect beings grabbing onto them, all kinds of entities, attachments, and now you have to go through an energy cleanse. And sometimes they're too arrogant to do that because they got energy possessed and so on. And yeah, then they're kind of drowning energetically, but that's that's on them to choose. So that, and some do that are also that are spiritually aware too, because they want some excitement in their life. So, and they get some pushback from that. So some learn the hard way, or many do learn the hard way in their own ways, but some really learn the hard way, and they can't get out of the hard way. Yeah, they can't get out of their own way. They can't heal the ego. Well, you can over time. But over time, can it take 10, 20 years or a whole lifetime? Like, those are stuck in their ways. This is the way I should be. Until 30 or 40 years are on their deathbeds, like, what was I doing that whole time? That talking about a hard-headed being. Did that make everything harder than it needed to be? Yes. You take something hard and you just make it 100 times worse, and they think they know what they're doing, and they live life. Yeah, we're not going to go into all the details of that. Well, they're not exactly, living to their highest good. They do half version of that. It's kind of like they want vanilla ice cream, so they'd rather have chocolate or something more exciting. But instead they just live at a half level or a low level energy instead of like their full potential, and they have capability at least lighting that fire to even see it, to to see that's within themselves. Instead they live in this life on empty, basically, energetically. And I guess you can say they have to go through the pain until they're ready to let it go. But then they see is like, what else is out there that I might have said no to? Like Maybe saying no was not the good idea at the time. It felt like it was because it's built on fear and everything. But then after a while, I was like, maybe that wasn't the best decision. So, but there's a lot of fear around them to keep them there. But some of you, yes, are fearless in a good way, but you're seeing the fears of others. It's very it's very exhausting because society is not really living as it could be. It is on life support, you can say. Some are quiet beings, but others are just checked out. They're here energetically, but they're not contributing much to their lives or anything. They're kind of living it, kind of like on pause in some ways. Every once in a while they unpause themselves, but then they put themselves back on pause. And all you can, well, your mission here, yeah, you're feeling all of this, the pushback. You're feeling society just, it's not wanting to move. But of course, up to you how far you want it to go energetically. Because as you evolve, you see more of society and their faults. You see your own faults too, but also see society, their faults. And that's not always pretty to see. Yes, you could be doing better. I'll be over here waiting by the phone. Notice it's not ringing. Because many don't want help. They just want to be left alone in their misery. So there's only so long they can pretend that everything's fine. Eventually it's like the world, the reality, the higher self, or just like, okay, you're not doing anything here. You have to go. You can't live here forever and just do nothing. You always have a child or something, and they can see it's like, wow, you're not doing anything with your life, huh? And throw it back at you, basically. At least it's some kind of contribution. Even if you don't plan on living, at least your children will choose to live instead. So.